Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Now, recently I read Matthew chapter 1, and to be honest with you, I have read this chapter quite a few times, but recently when I read it, a new perspective came my way. So I'm going to share it with you, so don't go anywhere. Now, in Matthew chapter 1, it talks about the Jesus' birth and how the wise men came and the angel appeared to Joseph and and the birth of Christ, essentially. Now, something kind of came out to me in this chapter, and it kind of rang a bell in my mind. And what really came out to me was how God uses us for service. For service. Because you know what? When we are born on this earth, we are born for service. For service, yes, service for humanity. Because when we serve our fellow men and women, we are essentially serving God. And so sometimes we think about the requirement for service is just being available. And that is great. We should be available. But when I looked at this chapter, I saw something else. And I saw that one of the requirements for service is humility. And to be honest with you, that is something that I've been praying to God about for maybe for a year now. I'm not sure if I've attained it. I don't think so, because I think it might be a process. But So anyway, let's get back to the topic. Humility, not about my prayer, right? Yes. So humility. So I looked at this chapter and I saw the theme of humility, which was very weird because I've read this chapter so many times. And so here was Mary, and she was pregnant with Christ. And one of the reasons why she was chosen for service was because of her humility. Christ honors humility. Now, when we look at Moses, it says Moses was the most humble man in the world. And what did Moses do? He led the children of Israel, God's chosen people, God's remnant, to the promised land. So when I look at it, I see, well, if we want to be a part of God's service, if we want to finish that work, that last great work, one of the character traits that we need to have is humility. And so in having this character trait, we can't have it on our own. We have to ask God to give it to us. He says he exalts the humble. And sometimes we think that we have to be mighty and great and we have to go to school and study theology and we have to have our PhDs and we have to have this and we have to have that. But at the end of the day, what we need is a humble heart, accepting of what God has in store for us. That's all. That is all. If it's words that we need, he will put the words in our mouth. If it's definitions that we need, he will give that to us. He will. So if you're thinking about service today, if you're thinking about doing something for Christ today, no matter how small or big, because there's no such thing as a small service, no matter what that service is, no matter what Christ is calling you to do, the same way he has called me to do this, and I absolutely know nothing about videos, right? Very strange. But no matter what he's called you to do, he will find a way to get it done. He will give you the instrument. He will give you the know-how to get it done. When Christ called me for service, I told him no. I'm going to be completely honest. I told him no. I said, I can't. And I asked him, I said to him, I said, Lord, if this is your will, let me open the Bible and see directions to preach. And as I opened the Bible, in that very second, I saw that directions to preach, the exact word. And I said, Lord, I will do it. But don't be like me. When you're called for service, believe that he will give you the capability, all the resource you need for that service, because it is not your work, it is His work. But what we need is a willing, humble heart to serve Him. So until next time, take care.